Hello, this is Pastor Deborah again. And once again, we're beginning another episode of our wonderful, wonderful podcast show called Silent Cries Podcast. Voices Out of the Darkness. These are true stories about people who I did ministry with and still am, that were in great darkness. But before we get into those here in episode number 6, I want to give you a warning, a disclaimer, that this section, this podcast, with its many true stories, might be very troubling or triggering for you. So go slow and stop as you need to. As you read or hear or listen, remember you will not be alone this time. If feelings and memories arise that are frightening or fearful to you, His truth and light, the God of Agape Love, will come in gently and will shine on the areas of darkness and fear and confusion that still control you and have authority and dominion over you, even without your knowledge, awareness, or perception. Agape Love's knowledge. His knowledge brings light to you. And His light brings His life. And His life brings deliverance. And deliverance brings His freedom. And His freedom brings His restoration. And His restoration brings His healing. And His healing brings wholeness. You are not walking this road alone, for He and I, Pastor Deborah, are with you every step of the way. So you be careful when you hear the true stories. Stop, take a few breaths, pray, and come on back. All right, now let's get into the next part. It's called Do You See Them? Do You Hear Them? This was written in 2000. Whew, that was so long ago. This was inspired by the Heavenly Father Himself to me, so I could write it to others, so you could be reached. So let's listen to His words that He wrote through me. Do you hear their silent cries? Do you see their hands in the darkness? Do you? Do you hear their heart cries? Do you see the multitude of hands? Do you? Do you hear their silent cries? Do you see their hands in the darkness? Do you? Who are you talking about? Those precious ones who a Heavenly Father loves and is spiritually separated from Him. Do you hear them crying? Do you see them reaching for a hand of love in the darkness? Do you? They are there, hiding in the darkness. They've been waiting so very long. Waiting so very long. Can you see them? Do you hear the brokenness of their hearts? Do you see their hearts chained in fear? Their spirits chained and fettered, and their souls broken and fractured into millions of pieces, parts. Do you? Would you find room in your heart for them? Would you love them as the Heavenly Father and His Son do? Would you reach out to them as He did long ago and wants to through you now? Would you speak His words of agape love to them? Would you bring His light of deliverance, freedom, healing, and rebirth to them? Would you? Would you walk with them as He will, even to death and beyond? Would you love them no matter what they did to you, to others, to themselves? Would you? Would you be the vessel of agape love to them? Would you show them the way to a spiritual garden on earth of peace and safety. Would you? Would you become a spiritual hand in their darkness, even reaching through fire and demons to get their hands? Would you go the distance to death yourself for their sake and take the attacks for them? Would you take the pain and burdens to yourself to show the great agape love that you were shown from a cross so long ago? Would you? Could the Heavenly Father send you into the kingdom of darkness to reach their chained hands and hearts? Could the Heavenly Father draw them to you through His agape love? Could you find a place in your heart for them? Could you? Can the Heavenly Father spiritually trust you with such broken and wounded, fearful and unbelieving hearts? Can the Heavenly Father spiritually trust their deliverance, their freedom and healing to you? Can the Heavenly Father count on you to stand and protect against powerful spiritual enemies, to set these spiritual captives free? Can He? Could they see the agape love of the Heavenly Father through you and in you? Could they spiritually find the Heavenly Father and His kingdom of heaven through you? Could they learn about His Garden of Eden on earth from you? Could they? Could you grab their hands in the darkness and bring them out of the fire and flames, out of the chains and fetters? Do you see them? Do you hear them silently crying in their broken hearts? Do you? Can He send you? Will you go for Him? Will you go for them? I want to finish this portion of Silent Cries podcast, Voices Out of the Darkness and Light, and I want you to ponder these questions that I just asked you to yourself. But if you are one in the darkness, look, the hand is there. My prayers have been reached out for you, and you're not alone anymore. And you're welcome in His presence and mine, in His light and mine. So you be encouraged and you keep following this podcast. In the next one, episode number 7, we'll do another poem called Silent Cries of Broken Hearts. I don't like to overwhelm you too much on one podcast because they're powerful. So I want you to ask yourself, could you be sent for them? Could you be trusted to reach out, to stand and guard and protect? Would you go the distance yourself? They're waiting, and do you see them? They're in the dark. All right, I'll talk to you later. This is Pastor Deborah on the next episode of the Silent Cries podcast, Voices Out of the Darkness. Bye-bye.